Hi there, my name's Aaron Garth and I just wanted to welcome you to this little tutorial on creating a self-care plan. Self-care is one of those things that those of us who work with people need to do. It's not something we can get away with thinking about later or doing only on our time off over our holidays. It's something that has to be central to our whole being. And what I'm going to do with you in the next 15 minutes is show you how to create a self-care plan. You can do this while sitting at a coffee shop. You can do it with the sheet that we provide below. Otherwise, just find a bit of scrap paper or in the back of a notebook or in your diary, whatever works for you. This is the most simple way of explaining something that mankind has been thinking about for thousands of years. And if you go back to the time of Aristotle and Socrates, they were thinking about this stuff. They were thinking about the pillars that make people the best that they can be. If we look at holy books, Bible, the Torah, etc., there's lots in here about the pillars that make us the people that we are. And we'll delve into that a little bit more in this 15-minute training. But I want you to close your eyes for a second. And I want you to imagine you're sitting on a little four-legged milking stool. You're sitting there and everything's fine, except one of those legs just seems a little bit shorter than all of the others. And you start to rock back and forth a little bit. And at first it's a bit of fun, it feels great, it's exciting. But as the day wears on and the minutes turn to hours and the time that you're sitting on this stool goes on and on, you start to get a bit of a sore back, your legs are aching because it's all a bit off balance. And this is a lot like our life. If one of these four pillars of our life is a little bit off balance, our whole body is off balance as well. Our whole life is off balance. And so as we take that picture of that four-legged milking stool, I want you to think about that as we pull our plan together. Those four pillars that I talked about that have been talked about since the time of Aristotle and Socrates and the time of the Bible and the Torah and etc. are very simple for us to think about, but they're key to self-care planning. The first one I want to talk about is physical. Physical gets a lot of rap in self-care. We talk about it a lot. Eat right, be good to your mother, go to the gym, all those fun things. They are essential to physical self-care. But there's more to it than that. It's about getting good sleep. It's about getting some sunlight and some clean air into your lungs every now and then. It's about getting your eyes checked and your ears checked, and depending on your age, things like going for your pap smears and prostate exams. Our whole physical self, from top to toe, is something that we need to think about when we're talking about self-care. Ariana Huffington from the Huffington Post has been on a campaign for a very long time talking about the need for us to get good sleep. And as youth workers, social workers, community workers, educators, we're spending a lot of time getting things ready for our clients and our students. Sometimes we forget to take care of ourselves in this one. We're staying up late to write papers. We need to get some sleep. Sleep is very important. It's as important as the food we eat, getting some oxygen, some sunlight for that vitamin D. All of these things come under the area of physical health and physical self-care. The second pillar that's talked about from time immemorial is mental. And when we're talking about mental, we're not talking about mental health in the sense of depression and anxiety and that type of thing. We're talking about our mental, our cognition, the ability for our brain to work. You might have heard the phrase, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. And this is so true when it comes to our mental self-care. What are you doing to challenge your brain to keep it ticking over? Are you learning a new language? Are you doing some more study? Are you engaging in Sudoku puzzles and crosswords? Are you having deep discussions with people about things? Are you reading widely? All of these things come into keeping our brain ticking on. All too often, we're students, we do lots of reading, we do assignments, all those things, and then we finish, we go out into the big bad world, and we stop thinking. Thinking is so important, using our brain. And so the second pillar is all about the mental capacity. What are we doing to fill our brain and to make sure that it's being used? The third area that we talk about when we're talking about self-care is the area of social emotional health. And in this area, this is all of those things that fill our tank. American psychologist Larry Crabb talks about the helping professions as a water tank, and we turn on the water at the bottom of the tank and we fill other people's buckets. But who's filling our tank so that we can continue to do that? These might be good friends, they might be hobbies that we have, the things that fill our social emotional tank. Have you got people that you catch up with? Do you do a Zumba class on a Wednesday night? Are you involved in online discussion forums? Whatever it might be that fills that social emotional tank. And particularly in this one, we can't forget the area of friends and family. So important. You've got to have some friends and family to support you in this work. The final one is an area that is often not really thought about in our modern societies, but it's the area of spirituality. And I'm not necessarily talking about organized religion here, although if you are a member of a church, a mosque, a synagogue, whatever it might be, that's fine too. That definitely fills this. But when you're really feeling sick, you're cold, it's tiring, why do you get up and do the things that you do of a day? What is it that gives you that value set, that deep down in your gut, heart focus for the world out there? These values might align to a religion. They might be a reason that you get up and do the things that you do. It might be that your focus is on humanity and you want to give back there. You've got a philanthropic heart. It might be that nature is the thing that centers you in the world. Whatever it might be, what's your spiritual center? What's that thing that makes you be the person that you want to be? These four pillars have been around, as I said, from time immemorial, and these have been talked about by some of the greatest philosophers of all time as they try to think through what it means to be a human being. And these four sticks of our legs of our chair are great, but they're just sticks. There's nothing that holds them together except for this seat. And at the top here, we like to think of the seat as accountability. You need someone or multiple people to hold these things together. For me, I've got multiple people under each of these areas that hold me accountable. And when we're looking at self-care, it's more than just doing those fun things like going to the movies or having your nails done or getting a haircut. It's so much more than that. It's about building the life that you would be proud to continue living. And the best way that we know how to teach this and pass this on to you is by getting you to set 3 goals. A short-term goal, something that you're going to do in the next month. A medium-term goal, something that you'll get in the next 3 to 6 months. And a long-term goal, something that's going to take you at least 12 months to do under each of these areas. So what we want you to do in your self-care plan is add 3 goals next to each of the legs. Goal 1, short term. Goal 2, medium term. Goal 3, long term. Short, 1 month. Medium, 3 to 6 months. Long term goal, up to 12 months or beyond. And this will help you to really focus that life to become something that you are proud of. In the physical space, short-term goal might be to go and get your eyes checked. Really simple, really easy to do, a quick win for you. It might be to lose some weight. It might be to start eating more healthy or getting into a bedtime routine. Whatever it might be, something that you can do quickly, short-term, and within the next month. Medium term, you might want to drop a few extra kilos. You might want to get to a point where you can do a marathon or an Ironman or something like that. Long term, you might want to hike Everest, and you need to be physically fit to do that. Mental, same thing. Short term, medium term, long term. Social, emotional, short term, medium term, long term. And spiritual, short term, medium term, long term. And the key to this is not just to write it up once and then run away. It's to continue to focus on this. And so every 3 months, set a reminder in your phone and take yourself out for a coffee and do this again. Add another short-term, medium-term, and long-term goal in each of these areas. And you'll notice that there'll be goals that you easily tick off, and there are ones that will take you some time to build from there. Key thing here is each of your goals needs to be smart, needs to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-oriented. You can't just say, I want to lose weight. You need to say, I want to lose 10 kilos by Christmas in 2022. You can't just say, I'm going to get my eyes tested. You're going to say, I need to go to that specific optometrist on Friday to get my eyes tested with each of your goals. I guarantee as you do this over and over and over again, you will find that you build the life you are proud to live. You'll get those goals each time. And as you build in more and more goals over time, you'll see that you are reaching an amazing level of self-care in your life. When times get tough, we turn back to our self-care plan and we focus on the things that we want our life to have meaning for. That's it, everyone. I hope you took something from this. And hey, tell us some of the goals that you add for your self-care plan.